Hey everyone, it's Trevor here with another Daclus quality review. This is part of my New Year's resolution to see every movie that comes out in my theater and give a quick little review while sitting in my car on my phone. So today I went and saw The Legend of Tarzan. This is a movie about Tarzan, but it takes place sort of after the regular one story we're all sort of used to, the origin story, and how he's living in London with his wife Jane, and they sort of they have to they're sort of living as lords. He's living as a lord because that's what his parents were, his human parents back home, and sort of so he's been living that life. But he's sort of brought in because uh, the government sort of wants him to be just sort of a, help with some publicity, basically, and and ooh and ah about what they're doing in the Congo, where Tarzan grew up. But he doesn't want to be involved in that. But Samuel L. Jackson's character says, "Hey, I think there's actually something more going on here. I think there's some slavery and stuff occurring," and they go to investigate. And that's sort of the starting premise of the story. So the story, let me see, is it's very interesting. I heard not much. I didn't look into it or anything, but I was hearing from places that there's some mixed response to this movie. And I get it because there are a lot of bad things about this, and that being said, I still sort of enjoyed it in spite of all those bad things. It's one of those movies that I feel like I could just let pass. But here, let me go through some of the the issues I had here. Now, at the start, it started out very serious, and I was okay with that. I thought it was cool, and it sort of seemed like a pretty serious sort of deconstruction type of thing, and the idea of like the legend that is Tarzan. And but then it also later starts getting really kind of silly, a bit cartoony, and it goes sort of back and forth at times. Um, After a little, but it takes a little while. So it starts out very serious, and then it just sort of switches, and it's very off-putting, and it's a bit bizarre. It it's very confusing at first. It's such a sudden shift. That it's definitely an issue with the movie in terms of a movie. But at the same time, I don't know. I was able to get used to it, and it didn't bother me too much. I was able to go, okay, there's some serious, really serious stuff, and then there's some just silly stuff, and that is the world I guess we're living in. And so I was able to sort of get to that. There's some not so great CGI at parts. There's some not so great green screen. Mainly one point of weird dialogue, but some other points I can't really spoil them because those weird points are sort of spoilery. Um, but there's some not great stuff. There's some but overall, I came out of it just being like, yeah, it was fine. I sort of enjoyed it. I'm not upset about the experience. I'm not particularly bothered or I mean, I was hoping for more. I was just kind of excited about this movie, not like extremely excited, but I don't have a huge fan investment in Tarzan really. Other than watching the cartoon as a kid and really enjoying it. So at the same time, I was pretty positive about this movie. I thought it was going to be really good. It's not what I was hoping. It's not. It didn't reach those levels. It's definitely disappointing. But it's sort of. I'm not really upset about it. It was fun. It was a little bit. It had some good, interesting, serious bits. Um, Overall, I would not watch this again. I don't know if I can even recommend it for anyone, but I still enjoyed my time. It wasn't something that I'm regretting seeing. I had a decent enough time watching it, so that's really what I guess is important. So I understand, and it's hard to recommend this movie. It's hard to say who should see this movie and who shouldn't. But you already heard me say how the theme, sort of the elements of the tone, sort of flip flop and are a bit odd. Uh, so if that can be a real bother for you, you really don't want to see this. Um, there are just quite a few issues here, but yeah, as I said, I It's fine. Um, Honestly, maybe just wait for it to come out on VOD, video on demand, or whatever type of service, DVD, Blu-ray, VHS. I don't know what you use. TV, just wait for it to come on TV or something. Netflix. I don't know. I'd probably recommend that before seeing it in theaters, but I didn't hate my time seeing it in theaters. So it's just it's one of those things that I think it's gonna split pretty well split here on, some people are just gonna really enjoy it, some people are really gonna dislike it. It's I don't think it's, in terms of being a good or bad movie, I kind of think it's more on it's a bad movie, but it's not so just awful in a way that's, I think, makes it not it's not, it's enjoyable enough. It's one of those, it's not the best movies, not the best made, but it's a little bit of fun. It's a little bit enjoyable. It's not really an entirely shut your brain off thing because my brain was not off. I was noticing all the issues, but I had fun with it. I still enjoyed just some of it, and that's about it. That's all I can say, I guess. I'm somewhat repetitive here, but that tends to happen like every single time. So I still have the BFG to see. I'm gonna see that with some friends. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But I'll have it up as soon as possible. And that is it. That is it for this week. Once that is out of the way and we're done with all the movies from this week, I'll have to try to remember to look up what movies are coming out next week so that I can have them during the BFG review. But it probably won't happen. You know me. If you watch multiple of these reviews, you know that probably not gonna happen. But anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe to this channel for more reviews such as this from me. We also do trailer reaction videos here for any geeky trailers that come out for movies, TV shows, video games, comic books even. We also have a podcast called Geek Wars Podcast, where every week we talk about the geeky things in the news. That's the main show. We actually have multiple shows now on the Geek Wars Network. We have a podcast about Big Brother, the U.S. TV show. Um, and then we have another podcast that might be up. I don't know if it's up yet, but it's a sort of a Die Hard-esque type of podcast where they're going to talk about what what is this. See, I'm not the one on this podcast, so it's weird for me to describe it. It's not what I'm used to, but they'll be talking about if is a movie sort of like a Die Hard movie. Why is this Die Hard-esque in terms of a movie? I don't know. It's not my expertise. But yeah, you can go check any of that out if any of that sounds interesting. If I made that last one sound at all interesting, check it out. What else do we have? We also have a Twitter, which is at Geek Wars Podcast. You can like us on Facebook at Geek Wars Podcast. And you can follow me on Twitter at Daclus. Spelling is in the title of the video. Thank you everyone for watching, and until next time, bye!